Hey fashion lovers, you're all welcome to this live stream. You're all welcome. Today we are going to be making a very beautiful and luxurious satin bag. It's actually a mini bag, very luxurious. So if you are just joining in, do well to stay tuned. You will not regret. You're going to get a lot of value from this live stream. So let's get straight to the point. I'm going to begin by showing you the fabric. We are going to be using this red satin. This is luxurious Duchess satin. So I've already cut the various parts. I'm going to show you the dimensions. This is the main body of the back. This is 9 inches. This is 9 inches by 24 because I want it really gathered. Next is the inner lining. What is going to be inside the bag? This is also 2 pieces. And the dimensions I used for this is 6.5 inches by 9 inches. And for this one, you can either use an interfacing like a warden, the thick warden, or air stay. If you're using air stay, make sure you double it. But since I could not lay hands on a thick warden, I decided to use my creative mind. And what I'm using here is a thick scuba fabric. You can see the thickness. This is a thick scuba, and I'm going to attach it to the back side of this satin to give it structure. The essence of this is to give structure to the bag. So I'm going to attach it like so on the inner part of this lining. So this is the lining, and for the handle of the bag, we are going to make a scrunchy line, a scrunchy handle. Yes, a scrunchy handle. I cut this 28 inches by 4 inches. It's 4 inches by 28. The length of this is 28 inches. So this is for the scrunchy handle. And we also have this 12 inches stripe, 12 inches by 1.5. This is what we are going to fit inside the scrunchy handle. And the bag also has a design on the scrunchy handle. This is the design. And for the dimensions, I have here 12 inches by 3 inches. So for this one, I'm going to begin by shaping the sides. I don't want the sides to be straight, so I fold it into 2, and I'm going to shape the sides. I want the sides to be a bit sharp, so I'm going to shape this side, and I'll shape the other side as well. So this is the little designs we are going to place on the handle of the back. So I'm going to fold it into two and I'll sew it while leaving a small opening at the center to flip it over. So let me keep these parts aside and let's begin with the sewing. Thank you for joining in. If you can hear me, please say hello at the comment section. If you can hear me, please indicate at the comment section. Let me know if the volume is okay. Thank you for joining in. You're so welcome. Please, if you find this video, if you find this live stream helpful, please don't hesitate to click on the like button. It's going to go a long way to help this channel. I also have a super thanks button that you can click to support my channel so that I can be able to create more content. So I'm going to start by sewing these little designs. At the center here, I'm going to leave an opening that I'll use in turning these pieces. So I'll continue sewing. As you can see, the edges are a bit sharp and rounded. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew all the four. So I'm moving to the last one. So I'm also going to leave a space that I'll use to flip it over. My machine is trying to disturb. So I'm going to trim the excess allowance. Then I'll go ahead to turn it over. So this is the outcome. So just continue flipping them out from the spaces I left. And over to the last one. So I'm going to try to push all these tiny edges out. You can either use your screwdriver or a pen so that these sharp edges are all out. I'm going to do same for the rest. And for this last one, I also push these edges out. We want it to have a nice shape when we attach it to the back. So I'm going to keep this aside for the meantime. I'll move to the next part. Let's begin with this lining. So I'm going to place my lining. I'm placing this scuba fabric on the back side of my lining, and I'm going to stitch it all around. I'll do same for this one. And I'll stitch it all around. So I'm going to trim any excess scuba that is showing. This scissors is not that sharp. Change it. Okay. I'm trimming off the excess scuba. So I'll trim also on this one. So for this part, we are going to join it together. We are going to join this side, and this side. But for now, we are going to join just these two sides, and we'll leave this side open, but we are going to still join it later on. So we'll start by joining just the two shorter sides. I'm sending a huge hug to my new followers. If you are just joining us for the first time, I'm sending you a big hug. You're welcome. So this is the lining. I'm going to put it aside as well. And we are going to move to the main fabric. This is the outermost part of the bag. So I'll begin by joining these two sides, this side and this side. I'll join this side as well before we proceed. So for this long side, I'm going to leave one side open, but on this side, I'm going to make a gathered stitch. You can either use gathers or pleats. So I'm going to set my machine on a loose stitch that I can use to draw gathers. This machine is trying to misbehave today. Please just give me a few seconds. Let me see what is wrong with this machine before we proceed. So I'm drawing 2 lines for the gathers. This is the first line. I'm going to sew another line. Hello, trending styles, I can see you. Hi, you're welcome. You're welcome, my dear. So I'm done with the gather stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and draw and pull the gathers. So I'm pulling the 2 threads on the good side, pulling gently to avoid it from cutting. So I'll continue pulling and I'll pull it till it attains the same size as the lining. So I'll be pulling and measuring. So I'll go ahead and pull this other side as well. So continue pulling and pulling and pulling. So I have to measure. It has to attain the same size as the lining. So I still have some pulling to do. So let's measure again. It's giving, you can see it's the same size as this. So I'm just going to distribute the gathers to be equal. Some sides should not be more gathered than others. So I'll go ahead and measure again, and it's okay. So the next thing I'll do is to close this side, close this gathered side. So I'm closing the gathered side. I'm going to trim off all the threads, and I'll flip it over. You can see this is going to be the lower part of our luxury bag. So the next thing I'll do is to put this one, to join these two together. So I'm fitting this one inside. I'll pin the two sides. Please take note, the good sides must be facing each other. The good side of this one, the good side of this lining should be facing the good side of the main fabric. So I'm placing the two sides together, and I'm going to use my pins to pin it down. I'll also place this side, so I have to send it inside. And I'll also take this side and pin it here as well. So you can see that there is a lot of excess. So we have two options. It's either we draw gathers or we do our pleats on the lining. So I think it's better we do gathers. So let me remove the pins. I prefer the gathers. It gives it that nice luxury effect. So I'll prefer to do gathers again. So set the machine, and then we pull the we sew the gathered stitches. If you have a gather foot, that will be the best to use, so that it sewing at once and drawing the gathers at the same time. my God. This machine actually chose the wrong day to disturb. So I'm done with sewing the loose stitches. I'm going to pull it. I'm also going to pull it till it attains the size of the lining. Again, pulling the other side as well. And I'll also be pulling and measuring to make sure it gives me the same size as the lining, so that will be easy to join it. So let me measure and see. Okay, it's giving me the size, so I'll just distribute the gathers to make it more even. Distribute. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you for joining this live stream. I assure you, you are going to get a lot of value. So the next thing I'll do is to turn it to the good side, and I'm going to send it inside. So I'll pin the sides together with my sewing pins. I'll pin the other side as well. Make sure the good side of your fabric is facing the good side of the lining. So I'm trying to arrange it very well so that when we start sewing, it will go smoothly. So I'm going to sew it all around. So I'm done with sewing all around. So I'm going to open it up like this. You can see the back, the form of the bag is already beginning to show. So this is how this one is going to move inside. This one is going to move inside, and this is how the back is going to look like. So you can see this inner lining is still open. So what we are going to do is to fold it inside. We'll just fold it inside a bit, and we are going to stitch it. If it's too thick, you can use your needle, can use a hand needle and thread to stitch it, because mine is really thick. Since it's a scuba, it's a thick scuba attached to a satin fabric. So I'm just folding it inside. Still have to arrange it very well. I didn't fold it well, so I have to remove it and fold again before stitching. It's really thick. This one would have been best sewn with a needle and a thread. I'm not sure my machine can pass on this area, so I'll just sew it gently with my hand. Okay, so this is it. So I'm now going to send it inside. Push it all down. And for this opening, you can either iron it properly, or if you want it really flat, you can top stitch. But for this one, I don't like to top stitch, so we are done with this. If these sides are coming out, you just need to push them inwards. So the next thing I'll do is to keep this aside, and we'll go to the scrunchie. We'll go to the scrunchie handles. So we are going to put 2 handles. So I'm going to fold into 2, and I will sew it close the sides. Oh my God. So I'll do same for the other one. I'll fold the good sides facing each other. So we are done with this part. And the next thing is to flip it over. Turn it to the good side. So I'm going to continue turning it till all comes out. And we are almost getting to the end of the process. Okay, this one is done. So I'm going to trim this excess here before I flip it out. So I'm going to turn same like the other one. I'm trusting you all have clicked on the like button. Please don't forget. It's just so important to promote this channel. Please click on the like button. For those who would like to support my channel, you can click on the thanks button and support my channel. It's going to go a long way to help me to create more videos. And thank you in advance. I'll be so grateful. So I'm done with this one as well. So this is our scrunchie stripes, and for what we are going to pass inside, this is the shorter fabric we are going to send inside here to give that scrunchie effect. And we also had this design that we started with. I'm going to take it to the ironing table and iron it properly because we want it really neat. So please don't go away. Just give me a few seconds to take this to the ironing table and iron. I'm seeing you all. Thank you for joining. I'm seeing you, Trending Styles. Thank you for joining. Continue watching. I'll be back soon. Okay, I'll be done ironing in a bit. I'll also iron these scrunchy stripes, and we are going to proceed. Please don't go away. Let's proceed to see the end result of what we have been doing. Okay, I'm done with the ironing, so we are going to proceed. Thank you for staying with me. So these are the designs we are going to attach on our handles. So you can see these places are still open. So I'm going to go ahead and close them. And for this part, for this crunchy design, we are going to use a safety pin to pass the little fabric inside. So I'm going to take my safety pin. This is the safety pin. So we are going to pin it like so. And we are going to pass it inside. We are going to pass it inside. And for it not to go and remain inside, we are going to pin these two edges together like this. I'll use my pin to prevent it from going inside. So I'll continue passing it. You can see it's already giving the scrunchy effect. So I'm going to remove the safety pin and I'll use another pin again and pin it here as well. So you can see we are going to distribute to make it even more beautiful. It's giving the scrunchy effect. So I'm going to do the same for this one. I'll quickly pass the safety pin, send it inside. And I'll use a pin to pin this side so it doesn't go inside. I'll continue moving. So at the end, I'll also remove this safety pin and I'll use another pin to also pin it. If you want your handle shorter than this, you can reduce the length of the fabric we are putting inside. It's the length of the fabric inside that determines the length of the handle of the bag. So this is it. So these are the two handles. For these designs, I'm going to close the opening. I'm going to close this opening. So we are closing the opening on all the 4 pieces. And this is the last one. And for this part, we are going to attach it here to hold it in place. and I'll do the same for the other side. So this is one scrunchie handle. So this one too, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll attach the inner pieces to the outer one. The same thing for this other side. Make sure it's holding both fabrics together. So these are the scrunchie handles. So I'm going to take it to my weaving machine and weave these parts so they don't continue fraying. So just in 1 second, I'm going to take it to my weaving machine. So I've weaved with white thread. You can do yours using a red thread. Or another option is to fold it inside. So this is the back. I'm going to begin here by measuring 1.5 inches from the side. 1.5 inches. This is where I'll place. This side should be facing like so. For this part, you can go ahead and use needle and thread to sew it. So I'm going to stitch, and this is how our bag, scrunchy bag, will look like. And for this part, we are going to attach it here to make a beautiful design. This as well. This is the first side. So turn it this way. We're also going to tie, tie, tie. Tie, tie, tie. You can tie twice. So this is our scrunchie bag. You can go as well and put pressing pin here and here so that you can pin it together. Pin it like so. And our bag is good to go. Good to go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, so sweet. Thank you for watching.